I'm about to give you a few different things that you can diagnose in your shuffle dancing if T-stepping is feeling really difficult. Maybe it's that you're just not getting the T-step to begin with. Maybe it is that you can do the T-step slow, but as soon as you speed it up, things start to fall apart. It doesn't matter what the situation is. All that matters is that I'm gonna help you with 3 specific things today that you can look out for in your T-step to help make it more powerful, more efficient, more balanced, and more clean. It's really important that we look at this holistically. So many people will be like, my T-step's not working. Let me just look at my foot, right? My base foot or my tapping foot. Something must be wrong there. But usually what's going wrong is actually another piece of your body mechanics that is not allowing the foot to do its job. So the very first one that you are going to check out, we're gonna start with the foot, but it's kind of the ankle, is the actual size of your pivot on your base foot. Now, there are people who have been shuffling for a very long time. They have really great ankle flexibility. They have amazing muscle memory. And your pivot over time can get really large, right? It can really open up and then really come in. See how my foot on the base foot is even kind of turned inwards very slightly? It is possible over time to have a really big pivot in your T-step. But that's not always the best case scenario, especially if you're someone who struggles with balance. You can work your way up to that, but don't feel like you have to strive for that right off the bat. My best recommendation, especially if you are newer to shuffling or you're just starting to understand this step, is to focus on having your T-step pivot be a little bit smaller. So maybe you're just going from having your toe on your base leg, starting facing forward, right? It's pointing towards the camera. And then when you flick your heel out, just aim for like a diagonal position. It doesn't need to go completely sideways. We can just aim for a gentle diagonal. Then when you pull back into your perch position to complete the movement, don't feel like that toe has to go all the way to the other side. Just bring it back to center, square, so your toes, your hips, your knees, everything is facing forward, okay? So audit the size of your pivot. If you are feeling like you're toppling all over the place, you might be trying to do the most with your pivot when it's not needed at this stage of your particular journey. The second thing that you should look at to holistically diagnose your T-step is what's happening with your hips and knees. These are 2 very overlooked areas of the T-step, again, because we're just so focused on what our feet are doing. So your knees and your hips, I should actually say that in reverse order. Your hips, the external and internal rotation of your hips is what allows your knees to rotate and therefore allows your ankles to rotate, right? Notice that as I pivot out, my hip, this is one unit. It's all working together, okay? So if you are finding it difficult to have that foot rotation where you want to, start working on opening up the hips a little bit more. Everyone's gonna have different levels of hip flexibility as well. This is important to note. Sometimes people will strive for that really large pivot that I was talking about, and it just might not be super possible. Like, I have decent hip flexibility, but I've seen people with pivots that will blow your mind, and they must have way better hip flexibility than I do. So something I can work on, right? But realize that this movement is really starting in the hips. And then the second thing is the knees. So many people are trying to T-step all the way up here with almost straight knees and wondering why they're toppling over, why they have no balance, why they're not getting anywhere, why it feels like they're just grinding their feet across the floor rather than floating. And it's because we actually want to be bent into the knees. We really want to feel like our weight is shifting into our quads, that the glute is turning on. And that way, when we're doing our T-step, our base leg is as strong as it possibly can be because our entire structure is standing on it. When we tap down here, we're not putting weight on it. We're just tapping and popping back up in most cases. So this leg needs to be able to bear a larger load, and that partially comes from bending into the knee. That bend is also going to help you have more hip rotation. If I just try to rotate here versus bending the knee and rotating here, look how much more rotation I got. All right, so number 2, check your hips, check your knees. So the third and final tip is to check your weight distribution. This often comes from trying to stretch out too far, This often comes from trying to put weight on that tapping foot, as I was just saying. So for all intents and purposes, what we want to see, at least at a foundational level with your T-stepping, is we want to see you nice and grounded into that base leg. We want to see all the weight being bared and loaded onto that base leg. And then when you're tapping, try not to tap too far from your center of gravity. Notice as soon as I tap really far out, my body has to lean a different way so it can counterbalance. So especially as I'm trying to do this T-step faster, let's say, if I'm like constantly, stretching so far out that my upper body has to play this like TikTok game with it, it's gonna be really, really difficult. Rather than what we want, keeping it a little bit closer to our center of gravity, tapping closer to that base leg where my upper body can stay fully stacked on top of my lower body and be able to stay loaded over top of that base leg as well. So check on these 3 elements of your T-step, see what feels wonky, see what feels out of place, out of balance, out of alignment, and try to just work on correcting one at a time. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Building clean and clear muscle memory is based on practice and repetition. So you got this, take it back into your practice. Make sure you subscribe to Shuffle Shred if you want to learn how to be a powerful, confident, and unique shuffle dancer. I'll see you in the next video.